Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is the Road to the Record, where I work to achieve mastery of 10 games in a hunt for the best score of the Decathlon. Like what you see, remember to hit that like button. You want to see more? Hit subscribe. Let the games begin. This is Pro Cycling Manager. It is Pro Cyclist Mode, episode 61. We're not that far away now from the launch of Pro Cycling Manager 2019. We're going to be having an all-new Pro Cyclist Mode and Career Mode series when that launches. The Career Mode series for Pro Cycling Manager 2018, my other series that I have going right now, will continue on for a while after the launch of 2019. But this one, we're going to be coming to an end at the end of this season, regardless of what my final results are. Right now, I have one close call on the Grand Tour this season with a second place at the Giro d'Italia. Oh, so close. So close. Just seconds off of the win. But Tom Dumoulin was able to take it with his expertise in time trialing. An area that should be strong for me, and unfortunately, the second of... Actually, that would have been the third of 4 time trials here in the Tour de France. Did not go so well. The first 2 went pretty good for me. They were good results. That third one, though, I lost a significant chunk of time to quite a few riders, finishing 13th on that stage. And after struggling on the last stage, which was a climb, after a long stage, I'm down to 7th place.
And build up a good lead if they want to win. However, it has to be said that their chances of doing so are slim, if not non-existent.
Alright, so I have the role of leader outsider, and we can see that I've actually even lost the under 25s jersey now, and just back into the U.S. National Champion jersey, with BMC, of course, on the back. Team support has dropped a little bit as we lost Leopold Koenig last time out. We got 159 riders left in the field. And let's kind of see. So Katusha is still at full strength. So Dumoulin still has a very strong team behind him. Sivakov, the under 25 competitor that I'm up against. So it's amazing that they've been able to pull off what they have. And you look at the team, outside of the sprinter in Groenewegen, they've actually got a pretty good group of climbers there. Sky, of course, really strong team and still at full strength. Groupama FDJ, still full strength. Mitchelton Scott are down 2 riders now. Movistar are down 2 riders. AG2R are down 2 riders. So we can start to see the impacts of fewer riders. EF Education also down 2 riders, including their apparent leader. And we're going to speed things up for a little bit. Looks like Richie Port is trying to get into the breakaway. Still trying to get itself established. 3 separate groups on the road right now. It is Richie Port in the back end of that, half a minute up the field.
That's more than 2 minutes separating them. Some team managers mustn't appreciate the fact that there is a breakaway, given that the pack has increased its speed.
Now over a minute. We should see those 5 riders come together in the near future and everyone else back off, hopefully. But for now, still some pushing, and now they're back within a minute. Generally, once they get out to over a minute, that's where everyone takes their foot off the gas, but not today. Not today.
The pack is slowly whittling away the lead.
Speed things up for a little bit. It's going to be some quiet action here for a little while until we hit the halfway point of the stage, and then we have 4 monster climbs today.
Attacked by Chavez.
Chavez, Enrique Mas trying to get off the front now as well, so the group is actually growing. And the field's still not letting him go. That's definitely going to do some damage to the main field, that by the time we hit that first climb, But finally, the breakaway group has been established. 172 kilometers left to go in this one. 7 riders with their lead quickly growing. Richie Port in amongst them. Hopefully he'll be able to provide me some support further down the road when I catch up to him. However, in this game, that doesn't tend to work out as planned. When you catch up to a breakaway rider, they've got nothing in the tank. They don't ride gently enough to recover somewhat, to give you a little bit of support. It's never much in real life when they do that, but usually they can hang out for a few minutes, and even during those few minutes you can recover a little bit yourself on those hard climbs at the end of the day. Breakaway lead nearly 7 minutes now and counting as they continue to pull away, passing the sprint point that even at times 8 speed we just now went under, so that is a pretty significant gap there. Looking at the point standings, Gaviria and Ewan now with a commanding lead. Michael Matthews pretty comfortably in third as well. Of course, Peter Sagan, one of the riders that is now out of this race. We're not too far away from the action getting started, but let's go ahead and look at the rankings for a moment and see how many withdrawn riders we have. Thomas Degan, Wilco Kelderman, Simon Yates has withdrawn, George Bennett, Joe Dombrowski, Sepp Van Mark, Menkes, Nasser Bouhanni, Peter Sagan, Koenig, and Pierre Latour all out of this race. That is a lot of riders and plenty of bigger names that have already withdrawn. Next sprint point with an 8-minute 40-second lead for the breakaway group over 5 climbs. That doesn't feel like that's going to be enough. There's enough points that it gets all the way down to maybe 10th on the points given out on those sprint points. So there was a few guys attacking for those scraps, those last few points. Sprint points are done for the day, and we are now on to climbing. First one up, 13.5 kilometers, 6.8% average gradient, 1,500 meters of climbing. 9.5 minutes is the lead for the breakaway. That's getting tougher and tougher. Over 10 minutes now, and nobody really ready to chase yet. I'd like to put pressure on the group, but at the same time I know that's going to leave a lot of my teammates out. Striani, we're to that point where things are going to start getting steeper. I want a little bit of pressure on the field. Tarme taking over protection duties. Owun relaxing Striani, leading things out. It's 11.5 minutes, and the front group is disorganized now as they begin to attack each other near the top of the climb. Enric Mas, Alaphilippe in those groups. Push Striani to about a 78, kind of hold it there. Should do some damage to the field and start leaving out some of the riders. Chavez there near the top.
Oh my, the guys up front aren't going to be making too many friends today.
Gegenhardt now in the yellow jersey for Team Sky. Sivkov still holding, well, now holding the young rider jersey.
A couple of teams have set themselves up as pacemakers for the pack.
These guys are well over the top already. And actually we're down to over 14 minutes, so they gained some time on that climb. Striani at an 80 is actually behind a bunch of riders, so either AG2R is now pulling and pulling harder, and actually that looks to be the case. So at 8, Nas and Striani all working at the front. I just happen to be comfortably sitting on the front. I'm not using more energy than I would. You can see I'm doing just fine on that department. Richie Port, Group 2 on the road right now, 1.5 minutes down on the leader, so the field has changed its profile just a bit here. And what was it, 7 riders? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 riders left off the front. So there's 1 in one group, 2 in the other. Port in the second group by himself. So there's 2 riders left off the front, pulling away. Peloton's shrinking. This is what I was hoping for. 73 riders. My team is all just about going to make it, and they will regroup over the top. So Striani will go back to auto for now. Oh, and there's a split right there at the moment. I don't mind if it stays that way. It's only 22 riders left, and I would have a couple guys with me. But I could see most of this coming back together, getting back to that 70 or so. There you go, momentarily. You can see this is bouncing around a lot right now. But let's go ahead and get the one that counts right now. Here we go. That was a comfortable first climb. But that gap has opened up a bit more. So that breakaway group, they're all split up. It's going to make them easier to catch in the final 3 climbs. But their gap is gotten quite large. De Plus, how are we doing with that water? There he is. So yeah, we're back up to 69 riders. De Plus, things are going to level off here. It should be easier to work his way towards the front. We'll go ahead and ride with him for the next little bit. Make his way up through the field. Most of the team recovering now. Oh, come on, get up there.
The gap is widening. The pack doesn't seem too concerned. A couple of teams have set themselves up as pacemakers for the pack.
How do I not have water if De Plus... What did you do, dude? Striani went back to get water, so De Plus gave up? He comes all the way to the front of the group, but doesn't bring the water with him. And now we're going to start climbing, and Striani is going to struggle. And I haven't had water for quite a while. Finally, there. Striani, good work by him. Horrible waste of energy, though. De Plus just failed the team massively. It's like he dropped the water bottles or something. Okay, now let's slow this down. We've been going on ×2 for a good while here. Let's put De Plus to work because you're the one who made a mess of that trip to get water. So, get up there. Come on. Pressure this field a little bit. By the way, the gap is coming down. 2 minutes is what we've pulled back. Sky working there. Who is it? Ooh, Wout Poels, who was in the top 4 just a couple stages ago. Chavez trying to attack this climb now. Those climbers coming to the top, that breakaway group. Chavez, one of those 2 riders off the front. Port is actually down to group number 3 on the road now. And he's struggling pretty bad, but he's about to hit the top. He'll recover some on the descent. And Enric Mas up there. Port down to group number 4 now, so he's really struggling. I don't mind as much that I'm gaining on these guys. Peloton shrinking, 61 riders. We are just over 3 kilometers till the top. I like how at a 75 I'm just cruising along. The Blues going at an 80. And having no issue staying with him. Now, actually, he has accelerated a little bit. There we go, 77. Enough to keep up with him. That's good. That means he's picked the pace up a little bit. First of the breakaway riders is nearly caught. Meanwhile, the peloton is quickly shrinking. Not so quickly, actually, really. We've only dropped 16 climbers on this shorter second climb. This climb's not quite as bad as the final 2. We are on the Col de Tourmalet right now. Esteban Chavez really picking up some points now. He's up to 20 in Mount Climber's jersey with the 2 Category 1 climbs. De Plus just hanging on here. I'm going to keep him on the front. Aoun and Striani have been dropped, so Peloton is shrinking. It's down to 45 riders. I'm going to need somebody. Barguil. Tarme apparently is going to take over Looks like I'm going to be on my own just after the start of the climb here. The good thing is stamina bar is looking good. Resistance bar is nearly refilled and will be refilled here in just a moment. So I'm looking pretty fresh for the final 2 climbs as of right now. Next one, here you go, the Tourmalet coming up, 17 kilometers, 7.4%. This is one of the chief climbs. 2 kilometers worth of climbing, 2,108 meters. That is a lot of climbing to do, and you can just see how steep these last 2 climbs are in comparison to the previous 2, and how long as well. 52 riders here in the peloton. This group is going to really thin out before the end of this climb.
The breakaway continues to look better by the second. It could work. A couple of teams have set themselves up as pacemakers for the pack. They obviously don't have anybody in the breakaway group. This climb is feared by many riders. The percentages are very high.
Alright, so Barguil on protection duties right now, and more or less with me there. I'm not sure how good that protection is at the moment, but Deplus on the front, putting the pressure on. He's only going to last a little bit longer here. Tarme way down in the back of the peloton. Not sure why he would be back there, but Deplus is done. So I'm going to push him to a 99, and he'll go as long as he can, but somebody's going to take over duties. And there you go, Ede and Carapaz, number of other riders, Dillier, there's Froome, Kwiatkowski, all coming to the front. Deplus, meanwhile, let's put you on auto. No, you are not the one to do that. Tarme is. Get back up there. There's Gegenhardt right on my wheel. This is Sam Uman on his... No, that's Youngles on his way up. Pace is slowed back down. We are getting steeper now. There's Richie Port. I'm catching back up to him. Rafael Micah up there as well. Tarmay is going backwards a little bit. Barguil has taken over duties. They're trying to rotate through. It's not going so well for them. I'll let them keep at that on auto. Do the best they can to give me a little bit of protection. We still have 9.5 kilometers to go just on this climb. Peloton right at 50, and it's going to start shrinking quick. I'm going to go ×2 for the next little bit, as this is going to be a long, hard climb. And it's going to be quiet for a while. Peloton now shrinking, 46 riders.
The riders are in a portion above 10%.
Yeah, here comes Port, but Port, like I said, no recovery. He's 1 heartbeat away from recovery. I'm going to get Port for just a second. Nope, not even a second. Nothing. He's going to go straight out the back of the group. .35 riders left. 4 kilometers, 4.5 till the top. There's Alaphilippe. So we've already caught Alaphilippe. The overall lead is down to 9 minutes. We're down to just those 2 riders now, and it is Enric Mas and Chavez. So Chavez and Mas at the front, but they've got a huge lead. They just split apart at the top. It is Mas that's going to go first over the top. Peloton has just plummeted down to 21 riders, and for me, the damage is starting to get done here. 3 kilometers, and we should be down to just maybe half of this by the time we reach the top. The elite riders, Wout Poels leading the front, Carapaz trying to help. There's Geraint Thomas now on those duties. That's going to help thin out the Sky team near the top of the standings and could help me move up a few places. Looks like I'm going to be okay to get to the top on this one. Tim Wellens, Dan Martin, they are going They are going for mountain climber points. So I'm going to let them go. That's not the attack I want to go with. Peloton's actually coming back together a little bit right now, though. 0.9 to the top. Okay.
It's in such percentages that the strongest
Just going to push this over the top a little bit
Team
here.
Trans are pulling the pack forward, although victory seems assured for the breakaway. So it's noses downhill, which will allow the riders to catch their breath.
And I'm going to get water here on the descent. So 2 more riders off the front now, a minute ahead. 24 riders in the peloton. There's a single rider giving chase a minute behind, and then another 2.5 behind that. So the one rider giving chase, which is Kwiatkowski, could catch us. There we go. Finally getting some water. I'm already well along towards full recovery for the next climb. The 4 riders that are away aren't in any sort of contention, and 2 of them are clearly on their way towards a stage win and time bonuses. The other 2 out to over a minute and attacking. So the makeup of this group, so we'll go to the back here. So Egg, Yates, of course, in the back, Aru, there's Pino, Bookman, Bauman, Poulsen, Froome, O'Connor, Sivakov, Izagira, Franchini, there's Uman, Quintana, Carapaz, Demoulin, Thomas, Rapaciro, Carapaz, Soler, Poles, Youngles. Getting close to the bottom here. And I'm tempted to go my pace, but I know my pace is going to be not what it normally is. So I'm kind of, I think right now I'm going to try to consolidate my position a little bit in this stage and not go off to win the race today, just because I've been off. My race day condition's a -1. It's hurting my stamina, it's hurting my resistance. Luckily not hurting my climbing ability, but we saw just how fast I faded on the Tarlamé. This is the Ardennes, Loos Ardennes climb. 11.8 kilometers, 8.3%. It's a little bit steeper. 1,700 meters, but it's definitely shorter than the last climb. We're quickly catching those 2 riders that got away from us. Dan Martin, Tim Wellens. Again, those guys have been in a lot of breakaway groups. They've been going for mountain climber points where they can. Soler, Izagira. Those guys pushing and actually starting to get away a little bit, but they're going to back off here. Yes. Back off myself here. No reason to attack. Carapaz on the front. There's Thomas.
This climb features some dreadful percentages.
7.6 kilometers. Catching up to the lead too quickly, but again, they are so far ahead that I don't think they'll be overtaken.
5 kilometers remaining.
Quintana riding at the front now. Thomas down to 25. Finally, one rider dropped. And look how fast they are falling away. $23 now, 22, 20. Falling off the back quick, but I look like I'm not going to last much longer. And here comes an attack now while I'm getting weak. Soler, Sivakov, Uman, same guys as last stage. These guys have got to be on peak fitness form. There's no way that they would be that strong. They're going to ride off my wheel here and go ahead and use my gel. I'm already off the back now. I need recovery. with Bookman. There's Poles, Franchini, group of 4. Not recovering. So again, this is really showing that the fitness is definitely a thing. I'm not recovering. What I need to do is just, I need to push my pace. Can I push 99? Am I going to go any faster? Not really. I got to be pulling the group slightly at least. Not really. No, I'm not. Okay, settle down. Get on the back, maybe see something here. Anything? Nothing. Oh, gosh. I never attacked. This is just, everybody's riding me right off the wheel. Even though I've technically got the strongest climbing ability. The long stages, that's not helping me. Chavez wins over Moss. They come in together, so both of them were so weak at the end that neither one could attack and leave the other behind. But Chavez crosses the line first. 1 kilometer for me to go. Sam Uman, 3rd. Sivakov, 4th. How is he doing that? Aru, Soler, Bardet. Those guys could end up being the top 5, as they are the ones that are clearly on the fitness peak here. Izagira, 8th, up there again. Gegenhardt, 9th. O'Connor, Quintana ahead of me. There's Froome, Pinot, and finally Franchini, Poles, Bookman, and myself coming in 17th. What a disaster of a race I'm having here. This low fitness, lack of fitness peak is absolutely devastating in this race. It was not good in the Giro when that happened, but I had a comfortable lead when it happened and then lost it, fought back, got second, but the Giro is not the Tour de France, and these are the world's most serious climbs, and I'm seriously out of my element. Not the climbing part, but the fitness level. So the game has really won. And it's kind of sad how this has gone, which is definitely not according to plan. I could get myself potentially into a breakaway if I start getting far enough down the standings and go win a stage and fight my way back up the standings that way. And I may take to that here soon within the next couple stages. Especially when I don't have the fatigue. I get that going for me.
And here are the key moments of the race.
Me sitting as others ride faster. Yes, I like it. No, I don't. So 2-minute win in the end for those guys. We've got a whole group of riders coming in at the 2-minute mark, with Sam Uman picking up 4 seconds time bonus. Ben O'Connor a minute down. Quintana a little bit behind that. Here's Froome. There's my group, 4:56. So 4:56. So I lose 3 minutes to this group of riders. That is going to be painful. It's going to be really painful. Still in 7th. Gegenhardt still in the yellow jersey. Soler 30 seconds behind. Izagira. Sivakov in 4th and pulling further ahead of me. He's 4.5 minutes clear of where I'm at. Aru 3 minutes down, and then Uman 5:39. Really, you could already say we're down to 5 riders that could win this. I'm only 1 second clear of Bardet. O'Connor now is 10 seconds down. And O'Connor's a 76 average. This is a sad day. Sad state of affairs here that I find myself in. Now the only good thing is I don't necessarily have to go in an all-day break. One of these days with a lot of climbs, I could probably attack and not have the field follow. if I'm that far down. So I could attack on a final climb and go win that stage and claw back a couple minutes and maybe get back into contention. And we've seen that time and time again from riders, like Bardet. Starts getting well down, goes and attacks, wins the stage, all of a sudden is back within 4 minutes, 5 minutes, and finds himself at or near a podium. Stage 14, the 2/3 point of this race, 225 kilometers. It's a sprint stage, just a little bit of climbing at the end, and I'll skip straight to the end on this one. 16 kilometers left in this stage. 5 riders off the front. Their lead has gone down just now, under a minute, but we're catching up on them pretty quickly here. 43 seconds, 36 seconds as we attack pretty hard to catch them up. Got a little bit of a climb coming here, worth a point or two at the top. And with nothing much else going on, there's a chance that I might try to attack this. But that also depends on whether we can catch this breakaway group. 31 seconds for them. And actually not a lot of energy left for me.
And off he goes. He's giving it one last go.
Yeah, there's still 3 riders up there. They've already got all the points. Terpstra.
10 kilometers to the finish line.
10K to go. Let's speed things up. Not much going on for the next little bit until we get towards the finish line. And they still have almost a minute, and we're not catching up to them. So it looks like those 3 riders are going to hang on and win this thing. Six kilometers.
5 kilometers to the finish line.
Now 30 seconds. Well, the sprinters trying to attack again. 3K.
The little promenade is over.
Bringing them back in here.
There goes the sprint. The strong men are giving their all. Those guys up front aren't going to be making too many friends today.
Balloon going off for the race. He should be just on the edge of the top 5. Ewan, Gaviria, Matthews, Kittle, and yes, Balloon in 5th. Groenewegen. There's Degenkolb. Uman in 11th. All the usual suspects will be up here. I'm well down the order, 35th. Can't even handle a simple little sprint these days. It's been sad. I actually had to play this stage twice. The game that almost never crashes. This 2018 edition, I think I've had it crash maybe 3 times total. The whole year, it crashed while I was doing this stage. Right before the end of the stage too, so I had to redo it. Refilm this section. So it's like, if you can't get one thing to go right for you, why would a simple thing like the game just functioning as it should, why would that go right for you? When they hit you when you're down, and they hit you hard, and I'm feeling a little bruised. Stage 16, 85 kilometers to go, long distance to cover. I'm going to be doing it relatively quickly. I'm at ×2 right now. 2-minute gap to the breakaway group of just 4 riders. Contain Egg, Klanchik, Tunison, and Rolands in that breakaway. And then the field is splitting. We are down to 84, at least at the moment. Tempted to increase the effort, put a little pressure on the field, but it's not doing much good. There's splits, but the splits come back together. A little bit too easy of a stage, so I'm going to go ×4 for right now, so we go downhill. We're going to go right back uphill in just a moment. We'll go back to ×2 for that. And there we go. Roll through town. We're going to go up the next climb, 3.1 kilometers, 8% gradient, 400 meters of climbing in that short distance.
There we go. That's 2/3 of the race behind us.
Work Owoon a little bit here. Peloton's down to 82 riders.
Another attack in the leading group.
Strani's gone out the back. $74 riders left now. 57 actually as we hit this plateau at the top.
Some team managers mustn't appreciate the fact that there is a breakaway, given that the pack has increased its speed.
And with just a couple climbs left, I don't see much action happening other than, you know, a slightly reduced field here towards the finish. So let's go back to times 4 again. Minor category 3 climb coming up. So back down for the final few K. We are closing in on the breakaway now, just 2 riders left, and we've reeled in one of them. Last rider there is Nicholas Egg. Chance for points, but Dillier is the one to go after those. I'm almost out of contention for virtually everything at this point, and that's becoming a little disconcerting. This is not the Tour de France that I wanted or hoped for in my first appearance. Last climb of the day now behind us. We'll have another short descent here and then pretty much flat into the finish line. About a third of the peloton bringing it home together. $20K and counting by quickly. Sorry if the sped up format gives your eyes some trouble or your stomach some trouble. Hopefully not the case. 13K to go. Egg brought back in 59 riders to duke it out. Under 10K now. 9K now. And we have an attack. New breakaway trying to form. Aru, Sivakov, and Uman. Where do they think they're going? Let's see. The plus. Soler attacking too. Alaphilippe attacking. What do you think this is? An actual climbing stage? It's not. Gegenhardt going. On the
Now the guys up front are asking serious questions of the riders in the rear as more of them are left in the wake.
Split in the field. 29 riders now chasing 5. I've got Deplus still trying to push. Now we've caught back up to him. I'm going to let him ride this one out so we can maybe keep that gap. Nope, no gap. Alaphilippe, Kwiatkowski trying to attack. They're attacking it like it's a hill stage. And it's just not. 2 kilometers. 2 kilometers, 1.5. Sprint is on, but I don't have any space to get through. I'm stuck in the crowd. Michael Matthews takes the win. Aru second. Alaphilippe third. I'm still not even in the top 10. I'm 20th. Oh, wow. I thought I'd passed Gegenhardt. No, he's 7th. What in the world just happened? That did not look... Well, I got stuck in the crowd. But I thought I was somewhere around 10, 11, or 12, not 20th. Big crowd across the line. A lot of riders to my left, seemingly millimeters ahead. What a weird stage. We do end up with a small group of 46 at the finish line, but strange one. Yeah, Very strange one. Now, I believe... Oh, this is stage 15, not 16. I can count, really. I swear.
Now for the race highlights.
This should be the rest day coming up. This should have been Sunday. It would make sense to have a sprint finish on a Sunday into the city. Whichever city we're in right now. Montpellier. Time gaps after 57th. No change at the top of the standings, though. So, here is the pain and suffering. 86 on the fitness, 10% freshness, and just 1% on the fatigue. I'm not doing bad there, but we can see my fitness peak and just how bad it is. But we should be entering a new week, so we'll see how that transition goes as we get into the final stages now, the 23rd of July in the year 2022. And yes, that was our rest day. So fitness now climbs to an 88%. The fitness peak, the danger, the red, is gone. And the freshness bounces back somewhat. Back to a 61%. If you just saw the profile, nice big old climb, but nothing much else happening on that. So there you go. So stage 16, big climb. It is towards the end, but with that downhill descent and it flattening out, I expect much of the field to come back together, but it should still be a small group sprinting it out in the end with those who come over the climb more or less together. The downhill descent could be important to pull things back together, and I've definitely been subpar of late, so we'll see if I can't finally have something go well in this race, at least not since the opening few stages. But we're going to have to find out next time as we get into this final stretch of the Tour de France in my pro cyclist career, trying to win the Tour de France, and at this point not looking too good. Let's see, what did I have to say for this interview? Do they think I can win? Need a bit of luck, but my name isn't being mentioned by chance. I'm in good condition. My team members also. So we're very optimistic. Apparently I am a good liar. You already know where you're going to attack. Yes, I've got my own idea. We'll see how the race goes. But if I get the opening, I know where I'd try my luck. How about on the only climb of the day? Yeah, good thinking, huh? Alright, hey, that's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer. And remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe and tune in next time on my Road to the Record. Bye for now.